wonderful facility being here this evening. Please open our hearts and our minds and lead us to a good path forward for Ward 8 and St. Elizabeth East, and protect us as we return home this evening. My name is Vance Gregg. I'm one of the principals of Gregg Cardona Partners, and one of the partners and co-owners of this team that we've put together to invest and be your partner in the redevelopment of St. Elizabeth East. What you see here, and you might not recognize it, is a east to west view of the St. Elizabeth campus in 1930-something, in aerial view. The street running down on the lower end of the slide at that time was called Nichols Street, and before that, Nichols Avenue, thank you. Yeah, or Asylum Avenue actually before that. Okay, Asylum Road. Okay, let's get it on. But we're here this evening to talk about the future, but we can't talk about that without knowing about the past. And this evening, we want to ask to be your partner and we borrowed this term R.I.S.E, I hope you don't mind, from the demonstration center, and we want to relate, and we want to innovate, and we want to stimulate, and we want to elevate St. Elizabeth East when it's all done. Okay? My partners, you can see us, a lot of us here, and we don't want to run out of time, but let me try to hit the high points. To my left, Louis Dubin, Thomas Skinner, and many people from both of our firms, co-owner, investor, partner, Redbrick LMD. I'm Gregg Cardona Partners, and my team is standing over here. We're family shop, my son and son-in-law, and there's other people in the audience. Juan Cardona, Hazid Gregg, Kiana Hassan is sitting in the back. We have here also with us this evening an exceptional design team, Cunningham and Quill, Cunningham and Quill, who designed this facility, are standing here to my right. Ralph and Lee. Legal, Warner Sessions is one of our legal advisors. Sandy Silverman with Perkins Eastman, who is doing the Southwest Waterfront, and they also did McMillan Reservoir. And got Tom Brown from Workforce, Ward 8, Workforce Development Council. Allie Bird is in the audience unless she had to leave. They're our workforce development partner, over 70 organizations working east of the river. And we also have another partner that you all might know a little bit about, and that's Ballou High School, who we recently completed today an agreement where they would be a workforce development partner of ours as well. Our expertise, given that we only have 15 minutes, I'm not going to dwell on this a lot. If we didn't have the expertise, we wouldn't be here in front of you this evening. That's just the way we are. We've done over 20 million square feet of development, a lot of it in the District of Columbia. Done a substantial amount of homes. Some of these projects you might recognize: the R.I.S.E, the Wharf, the Ellington on U Street. These are northeastern projects. On the right is an adaptive historic reuse of 1 million square feet, and Briar Creek, which is about 3 million square feet, next to the Research Triangle Park, North Carolina, master use community. Let's keep moving. The vision. You might recognize this. We got this out of the book that DEMPED gave us, the 2012 master plan that was worked on with the community. And it's a very playful representation, but an accurate one in terms of the type of activities and the type of land uses that the community and DEMPED and their advisors thought should go on here on this redeveloped campus. To the left are the principles, what I call the social, economic outcomes that the community in DIMPET gave us as our marching orders in terms of thinking about the redevelopment of St. East. And in fact, what I want to say, I think we're experts at doing beautiful buildings, but if we fail to deliver this, then we failed the community, and we certainly have failed our partner in DIMPET. Next. We were inspired by another piece of planning. This came from Alea Barnett. Maybe her family is in the audience. At the elementary school, Southeast, I believe. Freedom Southeast Elementary here in Ward 8. She had a great idea, skating rink and a Walmart, which I believe is Walmart. But we thought this was rather inspiring, and I'm going to turn this over to Louis at this point to talk about how we got from there to something else.
Good evening, everybody. Thanks again for everyone's patience. I'm going to go really quick just with the time allotted. Louis Dubin from Redbrick LMD. We all know we're in Congress Heights, Ward 8. We thought it would be helpful to sort of let you get into our mind a little bit of what we were thinking. You're here where the star is. And this is our overall plan, which we'll get into in a moment. Alabama, Metro, Congress Heights, probably know this area here. And again, this is where we are in R.I.S.E, right here in this incredible gateway pavilion here on MLK. So we really wanted to take our cue off of two spectacular buildings that are here now. DC Gateway Pavilion, already host to countless really incredible events. And R.I.S E, which we're sitting in today, and this sort of speaks for itself. The third cue of what's here now are the historic buildings. So what do we do with the historic buildings? And some fabulous architecture, and that's really where we were getting our inspiration. Next, please. The second real guiding principle here is how do we embrace Congress Heights? No walls, it's not an asylum anymore. So what do? It's real simple. You put in roads. Whoever develops this, and we hope we're the master developer, you got to get connectivity back. This is going to be part of the community. You need literally, including Malcolm X, which takes you all the way down to South Capitol Street and 295 and the spine that'll connect you with the whole region. You need to bring these roads right back into the campus to open it up and to embrace Congress Heights in a real way and be inviting. And I do agree with Stan and 4 Points. That's part of the whole challenge here is we got to open it up. Open it up to the community, and one way of doing that is with roads. Next, please. Concept plan. I know I'm going real fast, but it's just because of the time. 2.5 million feet. We have a variety of uses. Some of the really exciting uses we'll get into in a moment is hospitality or hotel with street-level retail. This is where we are now. This is the Gateway Pavilion, and in very short order, within 2 years of starting the project, we will be energizing here at the Congress Heights Metro with new retail and residential above. Low density next to the existing houses with our prospective partnership with NVR, which would be townhouses and affordable product. What's very important is affordable. Instead of a 10% set aside for affordable, we have proposed 20% of all units affordable. And this mix is, we think is a big statement that a third at 30% of AMI and a third at 50% of AMI, and this will be a mix of rental and for sale. So we're really excited about this. Again, total residential about 1.1 million, gross square feet in total 2.5 million. An important part of this and key that we're keying off, I'll get into in a moment, is the innovation uses on a little under 450,000 feet. Let's go to the next. How do you do this? You create great places. And the theme here was really creating great places around the metro, including the retail, places to live, places to shop. Shopping is key. Places to learn, places to educate and be educated, places to innovate, including the consortium, university consortium locally, and other groups that have demonstrated or have an interest in being here. We also have very early on culinary arts school. That's something we have a real commitment to in terms of workforce training. And we're also creating community greens and hospitality and event demonstration areas that's already being really used for events and demonstration center today. So these are great places that we're creating: live, work, innovate, educate, and this is a big part of our theme. Let's go to the next. How does this happen? Well, the only reason there are dates on here is assuming infrastructure is in on time and the rest. 17 sort of the start of when infrastructure would be complete. So right as that's getting done, you have a commitment here, and you'll start to see this in our culinary school. Housing starts. Some of them or others, are coming onto the campus that have expressed some early interest. And as it grows, 18, 19, 20, in 18, or second year that we're really active here, hospitality, we expect a major national flag on the hotel side with retail. And 19, you'll see more housing and multifamily. The back section we have reserved either for more residential housing, which would bring us up to a total of about 1,000 units, or more healthcare. You already have St. E's in back of us, a new hospital, so maybe there's an important institutional healthcare or public health use. And as we complement it out, we roll out the other buildings, and then voila, next slide. Finish line. 8 years plus minus in total to build. And this is what we have, with a mix of office and retail, multifamily over the retail, residential, again, buffering the neighborhood with really low density next to the existing housing. Very important energizer on MLK is our hotel and conference center, which can use where we're standing right now. I can't wait for the bottle to break on the building and open that. So this is sort of our overall vision of what you get at the finish line. Be delighted to take a lot of questions on this when we break. Next. This is our vision realized. We're now standing right on top of the St. E's. This is a bird's eye view. This is the amphitheater and some of the other public areas that we had mentioned that we're going through. Next. Thank you very much.
This is about partnership, as we talked about earlier. How much time do we have, Kathy? 2.5 minutes? That's more than enough. None of this happens really without sincere partnership with the community, with leaders of this community, educators, business owners, residents. And we are sincerely committed to that. We were over at Ballou, as I told you earlier, a couple weeks ago, where we worked out that partnership. We worked out very many other creative partnerships. The city recently stood up the Center for Construction Careers, which we would be excited to work with in the build-out of this campus. Workforce development and jobs are at the top of our agenda, as they are yours. The Advisory Neighborhood Commission, indispensable partner. And we want to set up a community advisory board. We don't have all the ideas. We don't even know what this board looks like. We want to shape it with you. Next slide, please. Now we come to the fun part, the economic pie, and it's a big one. You're talking about investing, or we're talking about investing together with DMPED, more than $750 million. Anytime you throw around that kind of money, you get action, you get results. And that's an economic pie that we understand and we get it, and we promise you that it's about leaving some of it, a big slice of it, if not a lot of it, here in Ward 8, in the form of jobs, business opportunities, investment opportunities, home ownership, and other outcomes. This city obviously has a CBE opportunity baked into this, and that's almost $250 million as well. Last but not least, community innovation. Some people call it community benefits. When you bake a pie that big, we want to give some of it back. $4 million in the form of the R.I.S.E Foundation. It could be more than that. The better we do out here, the more there is. We want to build upon the pavilion. Tony Court, DC Innovates, is a partner of us and has done a lot on that. That man founded FUBU up there in the right-hand corner, and Tony brought him here to the R.I.S.E Center. It was part of the team that brought him. Culinary art schools we've talked about. Last but not least, I know in my life, I stand on the shoulders of my grandfather, my father, and others. I know one man that this community stood on the shoulders of, is James Bunn. And as I've gone around the community and talked about him and learned, I never had the pleasure of meeting him. This is his attorney, one of his attorneys here, who is on our team. And we'd like to name our amphitheater in our arts district with the permission of his family and with no objections from you, the James Bunn Amphitheater and Arts District. So I appreciate you having us out here this evening, and really a pleasure. And we will stay around as long as you like this evening to answer questions. Did we make the time cut off? All right. How many seconds do I have left?
Politely told him that he's over. PCI, if you can start making your way.